What's going on, guys? Simple Sports back again. Another episode. I want to talk about Game 2 between the Cavs and the Raptors. Just give my thoughts on that really quick. Long story short, this series is over, man. It's a wrap. The baby dinosaurs did not come to play Game 1. Did not come to play. Listen, Game 1, they had them down. I don't know what the biggest gap in the score was. I want to say it was something like 16 or 18. I really don't remember. Somewhere in that neighborhood. I know it was around there. And they let that one slip away, and then tonight they basically just laid an egg. You might as well book it. I doubt this series even goes past 4 games. I think this is going to be a sweep by the Cavs. Listen, man, the Raptors are exactly what pretty much everyone thought they were. I thought they were better, and how wrong was I, because they just got smoked by the Cavs, and it's to the point where it's embarrassing. LeBron James is essentially practicing against their team. He's on the sideline clipping his nails. He's doing fadeaway jumpers from God knows where on the court, and they simply just didn't show up. He had an unbelievable game, 43, 14, and how many rebounds did he have? 7 rebounds. 8 rebounds. It's just embarrassing. Nothing really special from DeRozan and Lowry. They both had solid stat lines, 24 and 21 respectively. 11 and 23 for DeRozan, 7 out of 10 for Kyle Lowry. Again, nothing to sneeze at, but, I mean, come on, man. This is a joke. It is an absolute joke. I don't know. What's hard for me is I struggle with how much of this is Cleveland getting better as they play more and play more intense basketball in terms of it being playoffs versus the regular season. Because we all knew that regular season team, if they showed up, it was not going to be good. The Pacers had the Cavs on the ropes 4 straight games, really more than that, but for sure 4 straight games, and couldn't close them out. And now Toronto is just, it's like I said, it is embarrassing if you are a Raptors fan. And that's not to take anything away from the Cavs. I don't want to do that. I want to be clear. I don't want to take anything away from the Cavs. I'm just not, from what I've seen, it's not like what I'm watching is the Cavs playing unbelievable basketball. Love had 31 points, and they're obviously going to need more games like that. He had 31 and 11, which is exactly what they need from him. J.R. Smith had 15. Kyle Korver had, not Kyle Korver. Jeff Green had 14. George Hill had 13. They're going to need that type of game from their players. But I don't know how much of their success is based on them and how much of it is Toronto is simply not that good. I said it earlier in previous videos and previous episodes. I don't believe in the Raptors. I never have believed in the Raptors. I did think that they could make the finals in terms of they had a path to the finals, and I'd certainly laid that out. And they beat the Cavs, and really I think any of the 2 remaining teams they would have been able to beat. But they have no answer for LeBron James. They have no answer for the Cavs, period. The announcer called them LeBronto tonight. It's just like, it's so embarrassing to watch, because again, they don't even look competitive at times. Like, again, LeBron James is on the court essentially toying around with him. He did it last year. He's in the corner spinning the ball. This year he's clipping his nails. He's doing fadeaways from 20, 30 feet out. Like, it's ridiculous, and it's embarrassing. I have no words really for the Raptors. Like, I don't know. It's just it's incredible to watch. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's a lack of effort thing. It is simply they cannot stop LeBron, A, and B, they look intimidated by LeBron James. Like, there appears to be fear of LeBron James, and that is the scary part. And people all year wonder, well, why don't you give the Raptors any respect? This is why. No one, like, how can you respect this in terms of basketball? Like, they're not even competitive. Again, the closest that game was in the first quarter. The first quarter ended 26 to like 28 or something like that. And even at halftime, I want to say it was like maybe a 4-point lead for the Raptors. And after halftime, it was game over. And it took, don't get me wrong, it took LeBron James doing what he did, and it took that kind of a game from Kevin Love. The problem is you see no response, no fight, no pushback whatsoever from the Raptors. Like, there is zero pushback. Serge Ibaka had 2 points. They had 3 people that scored. Valanciunas, DeRozan, and Lowry. Everyone else, and Van Fleet did pretty well. There was a no-show from largely everyone else. They might as well pack, and they're going back to Cleveland. You're going on the road down 2-0 already. And the thing is, they have to beat LeBron James and the Cavs 4 out of the next 5 games. And the Cavs have to beat them twice out of the next 5 games. I would put my money on the Cavs beating them twice. And not only beating them twice, but beating them the next 2 games, making this a sweep, and getting on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Period. Done and dusted. This thing is over with. I give them 0 shot to come back in this series. Do I think they could win a game or 2? Possibly. But I think it's doubtful. I think it's very doubtful. Like I said, I watched the whole game. There's no fight in them. None whatsoever. There's no fight. They got down, I think they got it down to when it was like maybe a 10-point lead in the fourth or the third quarter, into the third, something like that. And again, you don't see, like, there's no intensity. There's no fight. They're just out there. And LeBron James is just toying with them. And they're going to go through to the Eastern Conference Finals. I still, and I want to be clear, this doesn't change my perspective on Cleveland. I still don't think Cleveland necessarily is going to make it out of the East. But they're certainly not losing to the Raptors. Like I said, this was an embarrassing effort. It's been an embarrassing 2 games. You had them down in the first game. Even if you go back to Cleveland 1-1, at least there's some level of confidence there. You had them on the ropes in game 1, and then you get smoked in game 2. You might as well pack your bags. Well, you might as well just stay in Toronto. There's no need. It's a wasted trip because they're going to come back swept, I think. I don't think they're going to win a game. I certainly think they're capable of it, but again, I don't see any fight, any confidence out of this team whatsoever, and it's embarrassing to watch because, not for me, I'm not a Raptors fan, and I've never believed in the Raptors, but there are a lot of people that picked the Raptors to go to the finals. I never did. I certainly thought that they had a path to the finals, but it wasn't a path that I thought that they would fulfill, and it seems to be that that's the case. Like, I don't see any way how they make it out of this series. None whatsoever. So we'll see what happens in Game 3 in Cleveland. I believe is on Sunday. I could be wrong. It might be Saturday, actually. But this is sad. It's really sad. You know, LeBron James is just toying with them all game. And he put on the show in the third and fourth quarter. Hats off to him, obviously. And like I said, I don't know how much of this is Cleveland being that good and Toronto versus Toronto just being in awe of LeBron James and just not showing up. I don't know the ratio in that. I think it's a little more Toronto than it is. Because Cleveland last series very easily could have lost that series and been eliminated, and they probably should have been if that were any other team that had them like that except for Toronto. They probably do lose that series. Indiana doesn't really have a superstar. Oladipo is coming into his own, but he's not there yet. He wasn't there to take over that series in the moments that they needed to. The person that came through, and this is what I mean when I say it's all about talent. Once you get to a certain point in the game and in the season, it's all about talent. And it's what you saw. Like, the Cavs were close, they were close, and the Pacers were hanging in there on the game. And when the game was in the balance, when the game was teetering, going one direction or the other, you need your stars to step up. And that's what LeBron James did, and that's what Victor Oladipo didn't do. And the same can be said here. The game is virtually. I just pulled up the box score, and let's see. It was a 2 point. It was 63-61, 2 point lead for the Raptors heading into halftime, and they lost by 18. Like you just, again, to my point, when you're in the moment, the game is teetering. You have a half to go. You're up by 2 at home with a chance. Well, not with a chance, but with the need to win this game and not go back to Cleveland down 2-0 like you are. And you don't come through. You have no one that comes through. Not a single person. And I don't know. It's just, it is what it is. I never believed in the Cavs or in the Raptors. You know what I mean? They seem to, like I said, they seem to just be in awe of, LeBron James and the Cavs. But what are you going to do? They had them on the ropes. They had this game not won, but they certainly were capable of winning. They were within striking distance. And they went into the fourth quarter down like 9 or 10, and then it just got worse from there. And you can't have that. Can't have that. So we'll see what happens in Game 3. But like I said, I don't foresee this going past 4 games. Maybe 5. I think the Raptors, they're not a terrible team. I think they're talented enough to get maybe a game. Maybe Game 3, Game 4. But not much after that. Cavs and LeBron James have their number. And that's the reality of the situation. So we'll see what happens in Game 3. I'll see you guys next time. I might do another episode after the Boston-Philly game. I'm watching that now. Maybe I'll do another episode tonight and see how that goes. I don't know for sure yet. I'm definitely going to do one this weekend regardless, but we'll see. Either way, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.